Welcome. I'm your host, Dustin, and joining us today is Trevor Doyle, Alexa Khan, and Batsuhk, the team behind the first Mongolian horror film to be in theaters in the US. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, excited.
I'm super excited to talk to everybody about this. After, hearing things about a huge Mongolian horror film coming here, because I'm a huge fan of foreign horror. I love watching things, outside of the United States just to see, how everybody's cultures kind of influence how they do cinema. And this one like blew me away. So I kind of wanted to start off and just kind of discuss about the idea around ABERRANCE and like where it kind of, originated.
hmm So I will, I'm translating for Baatar
Sure.
and also speak for myself, but I think this is a common question that we've been getting. So we'll just, I'll answer
Sure.
from the inception of, why Baatar did this. So he wanted to make this movie, and it's the issue underlying behind the whole story is something that he is just passionate about and something that bothers him. Basically, what it is that you have to be in charge of your life, and you can't believe everything that's out there, and you have to be in charge of selective beliefs and just do your studies and do your research. Otherwise, you will be consumed by somebody else, whether if that's whoever's in charge or whoever has the higher power, government, whatever that is. And so that is basically the gist and the behind the scenes, metaphorically. That is the meaning of the movie. So, and obviously, the whole inception actually happened uh, after we were working on a movie called The Steed in 2019. It became the official selections to the Oscars from Mongolia. And the cinematographer was Baatar. And so since then, obviously, we talked, and specifically Trevor and Baatar was talking. And then they were talking about a horror genre because it's just something fun to do. And then he started working on it, and next thing you know, this happened. So the genre was picked, that the issue that he wanted to do was done, and based on his experience of almost 15 years of shooting a movie as a cinematographer, he wanted to uh, basically launch his directing debut through this film, and one location cinema heavy film. So that's how the film happened.
And I'll jump in real quick and say one other thing too is just as far as choosing a horror film as the genre, uh, you know, Mongolians don't really make a lot of horror films, and also the way they make films, they lead towards things that are epic and big, and we knew that to really get noticed in the U.S. and abroad, we needed to find a different way of dialoguing the message that we wanted, and horror is one of those things that it's very universal.
Yeah.
So even if your culture is different, it's like we all get that feeling inside, and it just seemed like the perfect venue to go with to get his message out. And I think it worked out well. And he's proven, even though this is his first time directing, he's proven that not only can he step out of the typical Mongolian mindset as far as directing, but that he's able to do things like make intimate close-up shots and make something smaller and feel really big, as opposed to something that looks enormous and makes you feel big. So I just it worked out well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I want to ask Batar, the um how it was filmed because it looks so and feels so surreal, almost like fantasy of how it's shot here. And I wanted to ask him, kind of the idea behind that. Did he want it to feel almost like it was a fantasy more than it being reality?
Great question. Okay, I'll translate. Баатра ингээд кино ингээд одоо жоохон фантастик ийм үлгэрийн юм шиг нэг тийм ингээд айгу амьдралын байдлаас ийм тасарсан ийм хийцтэй байсан. Тэгээд тиймэрхүү мэдрэмжийг төрүүлэх гэсэн юм уу, фэнтезиг төрүүлэх гэсэн юм уу? Яг яагаад ийм юм сонгоо гинэ? Иймэрхүү одоо visual-ыг сонгоо гинэ. Өрсөлийг.
Тийм үү, надад бол ерөөсөн фэнтези гэж ерөөсөн санагдахгүй байна.
Аха.
Тэгээд яагаад ийм сэтгэл төрснийг бас мэдэхгүй байна. Гэхдээ
улаан болохоор тэгсэн байж магадгүй.
Яг улаан бол тэр чинь өөрөө нэг юм одоо Монгол хүн болгонд байдаг нэг тийм юу байгаад байна л да, нэг юм зүүн совин гэх юм уу.
За.
Тэгээд тэр зүүдний тэр нэг юм өнгнүүд, тэр улаан өнгө, тэр нэг хөх өнгө, мөнгө, ногоон өнгө тэр ерөөхдөө тэр нэг юм зүүдний бөгөөд тэр нэг сэлэнгээ тохиолж байгаа тэр нэг аимшигт үйл явдал, зүүдний үйл явдал чинь Монгол хүний зүүн совингийн тухай ирээдүйд болох тэр нэг аимшигт үйл явдлыг ингэж нөгөө дахин тэр сэлэнгээгийн зүүд нойроор ингэж сануулад байна шүү дээ. Нэг өсөндөө тэр тэгээд нөгөө их хүн одоо хевлийдээ юм бяцхан одоо үр боожж байгаа тийм үднээс ерөнхийдөө бол тэр бол нөгөө юм Монгол хүнтэй холбоотой тийм зүүн совингийн тухай. Хурдан эндээс яваач гэдэг юм шиг тэр нэг зүүдний тэр нэг аимшиг зүйл ирээдүйд удахгүй болох тэр нэг аимшигт үйл явдлыг зүгнүүд байгаа л тиймэрхүү ер нь.
So he said that it's interesting how you saw it as fantasy. In his mind, it was more like, a dream versus none, right? And then so what he was saying is that the color difference, the blue sequence and then the red sequence, those are all dreams of the selling they're having, right? The lead characters having.
Yeah.
So what he was saying is that, like, as Mongolians, and this is something that we've talk about, is that with dreams, when you go to sleep in dreams, sometimes Mongolians can have these theories and different opinions about dreams. And what he was saying is that she was having these dreams, and then the dreams were kind of like a foreshadowing, a forewarning of what's to come. And it's basically, and she had a baby in her womb. So it's like this mother nature and her being a mom and this little being growing is almost warning her and saying, hey, wake up. You're not supposed to be here. And almost it was that foreshadowing, and it's kind of warning is what was happening through her dream. So in other words, she had this intuitive senses and sixth sense of what is to come. It was kind of warning her. So that is something that he wanted to portray through the dream sequence, and that can obviously can look like not real, surreal, and fantasy.
Yeah, it's all like completely beautifully shot, and I want him to know like that this whole film, it's not that long, but it's a huge and super fun journey to kind of go through, eyes from another culture. So I want to thank him for giving us here in America an opportunity to kind of see what filmmaking and what other cultures are like, especially since this is a Mongolian film. So I want to thank him on that.
Ингээд ийм маш өвөрмөц ийм кино хийгээд ингээ Монголын стил ч юм уу ерөнхийдөө иймэрхүү юм ингэж оролцуулж хичнээн богинохон кино ч гэсэн ийм амар том мессежтэй ийм кино хийсэнд баярлалаа гинэ.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. So as we know, as we just kind of talked about how, to me, it feels like it's kind of surreal. I guess I can kind of pinpoint this to either Trevor or Baatar. For like the location of this film, since it looks so beautiful, what time of year was this actually being filmed? Was it in wintertime? Because I know that there was like snowing, but I don't know if that was an after effect or if that was actually happening.
It was definitely real. It was shot in the winter. It was cold weather. But I think Baatar probably would have more to say about the choice of shooting. So, Alexa, you want to?
Yes, I'll do that. Baatar, яг хэдэн сар нугаа хийв нэгт хоёрт гэвэл яагаад бас ингэж өвөл хийхээр болов те ингээд аюу тийм үзэсгэлэн төлөвлөрөөс яагаад бас заавал өвлийг сонгох гинэ?
Яг яг одоо нөгөө цаг хугацаа одоо нөгөө энэ киногоо хийх тэр нэг үйл явц маань яг одоо өвөл болж таарсан тийм. Тэгээд Зохиол бол маш урдан бичигдсэн шүү дээ. Энд чинь 14 хоногийн хугацаанд тий хий гэж хийдэл тэгээд 14 хоногийн дотор зохиол бичигдээд дуусахад ерөнхийдөө яг одоо унтсан байсан, анхны цаас орсон байсан, яг өвөл болж таарсан. Тэгээд зохиолч тэр өвөлдөө зориулж бичсэн. Тэгээд нөгөө маш одоо баг төсвөр тий богино хугацаанд ингэж нөгөө зардал багтаа хийх байсан учраас одоо тэр өвлийнхөө нөхцөл байдал зориулаад тэгээд тухайн тэр бодож ирсэн санаагаа одоо яаж илүү сонирхолтой байлгах вэ гэдэг үүднээс тэр тухайн төлөв мөнгөндөө бас баригдаж тэр нэг локейшн дээр тий ингэж маш богино хугацаанд маш сонирхолтой одоо санаанд дармгүй үйл явдлыг хэрхэн яаж өгүүлэх вэ гэдэг ийм л одоо үйл явц болоод тэгээд 14 хоногийн дотор зохиол бичигдээд 7 хоногийн дотор бэлтгэл ажил хийгдээд 15 хоног зураг авалт явагдаад за нэг 31 пост продакшн хийгдээд тэгээл ерөнхийдөө шууд нэгтэйс гэх юм уу?
Яг хэдэн сард ялаа?
2 сарын 4 мөрөн байна уу? Яг нэг цагаан сарын дараа яасан шүү дээ.
So the way the circumstances around the film just kind of fell on the months of February.
Oh, okay.
The story it was a last minute decision of like, let's do this, and everything came together. It was perfect. And the actual writing happened within 2 to 3 weeks, and then a week and a half for pre-production, and then 15 days of shoot, and then about 30 days of post-production. So with that, it was around February, and it just happened to have the first snowfall. And so everything just came together like that. And because it was one location and there was restrictions of one location in the woods and the snow, so all of those, his idea was, how do you make it more appealing? How to make it different? How to make it, how to use what we have and make it stand out? And so that's why he, shots in a certain particular way. And so the snow is definitely there. And, one of the questions that we were asked was the cold weather was the most challenging part of that, because Mongolian winter is brutal.
Oh, really? Wow. I love the
Yes.
cold.
Well, you'd like Mongolia then.
Oh man, I should travel. Definitely want to travel. Another thing too, I guess this can go to Trevor and to Baatar, is the use of long shots. Because there's a few that happen in this film, and the way that they are portrayed, it builds up such great tension that I don't see that a lot even in like American cinema that much anymore. So I kind of wanted to ask about like the ideas of going with long shots instead of doing cuts. Why did you go with that kind of format?
I think again, it's probably better to have Baatar give his reasoning behind it. But I love it that you noticed that, because it really does, it changes the tone of the film in a way that's really significant. So yeah, let's have Alexa translate that.
Sure.
Yes. Baatar. Энэ шотуудаа кат хийгээгүй ингээд айгүй урт шотууд байгаа гэсэн шүү дээ кинон дээрээ.
Тий.
Яагаад тэгэж хийсэн гинэ? Ингээд кат жижигхэн хэсэг биш, ингээд томоор нь уртаар хийсэн. Яагаад тэгсэн? Одоо айгүй олон кинод ер нь тэгэж хийхэ болцсон. Хуучин кинод тэгэхээр энийг ингэж ашигласан байлээ. Яг яагаад тийм зураг авсан юм?
Яг нь ер нь би одоо ингээд нөгөө цэвэр зураглаачаараа ажиллахаар ерөнхийдөө одоо өөрөө ажиллаж байгаа кинонд юм. Миний ажилласан кино болгонд одоо нэг миний одоо нэрийн нэг юм long shot гэдэг те. Тэгээд тэр утгаараа тэгээд бирэхэд ингээд юм long shot тавих дуртай үедээ. Гэхдээ кино хийж байгаа кино болгонд 1-2 байдаг. Тэгээд хамгийн удаан нь бол 8 минутын тийм long shot хийжсэн нэг кино. Тэгээд одоо энэ хийсэн кино болохоор зүгээр энэ миний кино. Одоо ихэнх найруулагч нэг тийм shot хийх дургуул байгаа гэдэг л та. Тэр нөгөө миний кино учраас би өөрөө бүх юм хийж байгаа учраас би зүгээр л өөрийнхөө би хиймээр санагдсан. Яг л ийм байх хэрэгтэй юм шиг одоо тэр тухайн нөгөө нөхцөл байдал
Mhm.
одоо яг тэгж надаа мэдрэгдсэн. Би яг тэгж хиймээр байсан, тэгж харуулмаар байсан. Нэг би хинд ч баригдахгүй жинхэнэ хөвчлөөгөө өөрөө тэмцдэг. Дураараа дурж дунч мөрөө нэрхсэн гэдэг шиг тий.
So, he's been working as a cinematographer for a long time, and that is long shot is his signature move on all the movies. Most of the time he'll have like two in the movie. The longest shot that he had was 8 minutes in one of the movies that he worked on.
Wow.
And yes, and then so he said obviously a lot of directors kind of shy away from that. And so like he's able to insert one or two in the movies because that's his signature. But with this is his directorial debut, and he can just do whatever he wants. He had all the freedom to do what he wanted. And he said that, he wanted to tell the story the way it was shot. So it just intuitively, he just wanted to do it that way. And he just felt like he has to shoot it this way on certain long scenes. So that's why he set it up that way, and he had no restrictions. And even if it breaks the rules, it doesn't matter, because that's how he felt like he needed to tell the story, and that's how he went with it. And he said it was the best feeling because he had the ultimate liberty to do it.
Yeah. I think it really, drives this film very forward, because there's one instance that's like, wow, how did that happen? I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to ask it. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about. There's that one really cool one, but I know our time is super duper limited here, so I want to kind of leave off of saying thank you to everybody here, and for bringing this film to us, because I cannot wait to see this in the theater with a bunch of people. So once again, thank you guys so much for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I guess one final question, very, very quick. I always like to see if there's anything up and coming other than the film that we're talking about. Is there anything that Baatar or Trevor or anybody can speak on right now?
Sure. We actually we're in the process of getting a prequel.
What? Okay.
So yeah, and this is also this is part of a larger cinematic universe. So there's going to be a lot more to come. Not just a prequel, many other things. So
we're going to live through ABERRANCE. We're gonna breathe through ABERRANCE.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I love when directors and writers and everybody comes on here saying, I have a film, but there's more to it.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that.
As you can tell, the ending, right, gives it off and says, yes, there's more.
Yeah. I'm super stoked. Super stoked.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you, Baatar and Trevor and everybody, for the opportunity to speak to you. Because like I said, I love watching foreign horror films, and to be able to dive into a Mongolian horror film, which I have not seen before, and we kind of talked about that earlier. There's not many, so this is a wonderful, wonderful experience.
We really appreciate you, so thank you.
Thank you
so much.
And thank you, Baatar.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I guess we'll see everybody on the next one. Thank you, guys.